Oh hey, we're making some templates today for some made from scratch custom door panels for our hot rod mini truck. I need to make these templates because I need to catch up on some things that I started a while ago. On this door here, you can see how it was factory. It was painted on the top and it tapered up at the end towards the dash. That didn't really end at a nice spot from the factory, but now it really doesn't. Because we grafted in this 1956 Mercury dash, and that taper just kind of goes up to the middle of the dash. I want the top of the door to go down and flow into the dash. You can see where I drew a line on here to give it kind of a seamless flow from the dash into the doors. Now I already did one of these doors. I made a whole new cap on it because I wanted to have a little bit more depth on it anyway to meet up with the door panel that I'll make. You can see that there's really not a whole lot there. And that would limit my door panel to being like a 1/4 inch thick on the top at the most. This is gonna give it a little bit more. That way we can get a little bit more creative with our door panel. Now speaking of door panel, now this might seem a little backwards, like we're not ready to be even worried about a door panel, but we're gonna make a template for one today. And this is why I feel like I should do that today. It's because I wanna make this cap on the other door, and I want it to be exactly like this one. If I make a template of the door panel, that would give me this shape that I need and starting the door panel at the same time. This is a window crank removal tool. Just pushes that clip out. You slide it under the window crank, pops that Jesus clip out. You know why they call it a Jesus clip? Because if you're not ready for it and you pop that out, it goes flying and you say words. The other side of it has the clip installer. I need to remove this door handle too, but I want to make a mark at where it is. Best way to keep track of your screws is put them back where you got them. Now if I had the factory door panels and I wanted to mount it the same way that they did, I could just trace it and reuse the clips and whatever, maybe. But I don't have them, and it really wouldn't do me any good anyway, because like we talked about, the tops are going to be different and the bottoms are going to be different too, because the factory door panel stopped here, but we're going to have our speaker right there. So I actually want my door panel to go all the way down to the edge of the door. As I'm making the template for the door panel, I'm going to have to keep track of all these voids in the door, all these holes and crevices, because I got to be thinking about how I want to mount the door panel to the door. The speaker will help in this corner here, and in the middle I'll have some sort of armrest, and that'll get attached directly to the door as well, and that'll hold the center of the panel somewhere around in here. But all along the top, the back side, and along the bottom, I'm gonna have to figure out something because I don't want to see any screws. We'll get to that in a minute though. First thing I need to do, besides stopping waving this marker around, find a good material to start with this template. Here's a trick I learned when I was doing the door panels on a 37 Ford, and it worked out really well. So when I built my 40 Chevy 4-door, this trick was a game changer. First thing, just make sure your wife isn't looking and run inside and grab the shower curtain. That clear inside one. Or do what I did and just get one from Amazon, $5, and you won't be in trouble when the wife comes home. Here's some little magnets, perfect for holding this plastic down, but also building them into the door panel itself so we can attach it to the door with them. Magnets. You can get them on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. So now that this clear plastic is on there, we can see all those holes and voids, and we can trace them with a marker. So that way we can cut this plastic out and we have a template of the door with all of those voids marked. Then we can transfer that to something else, like some tag board or ram board or a piece of masonite. Now we'll take this red marker and mark off where those magnets can go, and also the door pull. The speaker in the lower corner, the door pull in the middle, and all those magnets around. That's how we're gonna mount this door panel. Awesome. What's nice about having something like this, where I mapped out all those holes, is that I'm gonna do sound deadening on this. Those will all be covered up with that. So if I was trying to make a door panel, after I did that, I wouldn't know where those holes were, and I could be running screws into nothing. Or even worse, screwing into something we don't want to screw into. I'm just gonna grab some scissors, cut that out, then we can transfer it over to something else. Sometimes a razor blade works a little better. I want to keep everything as nice and tight as possible, and I think I cut the hole around the handle a little bit too big, so I put some tape on there, remarked it. I think I only needed to have that little triangle open, but we'll see. Can you believe I lost my chapinger again? I have to use this pick tool. It's a dang good fit, guys. We did good. All these blue dots that I put on here is where I determined would be a good spot to put one of those magnets. And these red ones are where the screws for the speaker are gonna end up. And I already put nut certs on this one, so that's definitely where they gotta go. I don't like to use screws, like sheet metal screws or wood screws. Wood? You'd be surprised. I put these nut certs in. They're like rivets, but they're threaded on the inside, so I can use a machine screw. So now that we got the template all cut out of this tag board here, I got a piece of masonite. I'm gonna take this one and cut it out of the masonite. That way I have a nice hard copy of it, one that I can actually use to finish that door top, and I'll be able to store it away until we're ready to make our door panels without worrying about it getting all messed up. So I put a little hole everywhere where I can put a magnet. That way I can see it from both sides, because that template there should work for both the left and the right doors. We'll be able to put a 1/2-inch hole for our window crank. I always start cutting my holes before I cut the outside shape. Makes it a whole lot easier to handle when you're cutting them out. That's fitting great. Happy with that. I'll really be able to form that other door cap around this. And if I'm using the same door panel template, I'll be sure to make that the same. You know, technically, this could be the start to my door panel here. I mean, it would be no different than how the factory did it, or all old classic cars did for many years. We're gonna be using a material that's a little more weatherproof though. Something that's not gonna soak up all that humidity in the air. Something that's not gonna end up looking like a wadded piece of toilet paper in 20 years. We all know how those old classic car door panels look now. This kind of stuff though is exciting to me. It really gets my creativity going, because now I kind of have a blank canvas here and now my mind's going about how I want to make this door panel. It's hard to not want to go crazy and make some cool transformer looking multi-dimensional door panel here. I gotta slow my mind down a little bit because this is an old 78 Chevy Love little hot rod mini truck. It doesn't need anything crazy like that. I think simple is gonna be better on this, but I'm gonna come up with something cool. Simple, but tying in all these shapes that I've put into that. I already got some ideas, but that's for me to daydream about, and that's for you guys to watch in a future video. But for now, if you're just watching this and I've already made a full custom made from scratch door panel, I'll put that video here. If not, you should watch the video that's there in its place, because it might be a good one too. Catch you guys next time. See you out there.